In our last part F of this example, we want a 95% prediction interval for the number of field goals made when a player attempts 1,500. And how does this compare to what we got in D? So in D, we did a prediction interval. We're still doing a prediction interval. What is changing now is our X star value. We are looking at 1,500. In part D, we had a player who had made 1,000 or attempted 1,000. So we're changing the value of X star that we're interested in. That will change a couple pieces in our equation. The pieces up here that depended on that value X star was what we got for our Y hat out front, and then also the number itself appears right here. Everything else is actually going to remain the same. So we do need to go back to our line and re-plug in this number because we no longer have 1,000 but 1,500. So our equation for our line was negative 5.568 plus 0.471. Then we plug in our X value, and so we now get 700.932. So that's going to be what comes out front. We'll still get the same T that we had in part D. We still have the same MSE. We pulled that right from the table. Still a prediction interval, so we have our 1 plus 1 over n. And then now under here, that 1,000 is going to be 1,500. Everything else then is actually going to remain the same because these are just numbers that depended on the x's from our data set, and that data set hasn't changed at all. So this is what we get. So our interval would be 700.932 plus or minus 1.974. This value will be 37.6551 for that square root term. So we get an interval from 626.5996 to 775.2644. And we want to compare this to what we got in D. The easiest way to quickly compare and see the difference is to look at this piece here, the square root term. The other piece out front, this number changed as well, but we're trying to think about the width of the interval. The number out front determines where we're centered at, but it has no bearing on how wide our interval is. So that had no really effect on the width. What affects the width of the interval is in one of them we're adding and subtracting 1.974 times 37.1517. The other one is plus or minus 1.974 times 37.6511. Notice that because this value down here is bigger, that this is going to be a wider prediction interval than in part D. Okay, and so I want to talk then about why is it wider and what changed. The only other number we changed in that whole square root term to make that number differ is this piece here that I just circled. That is what changed. And notice that in part D, we're looking at the difference between 1,000 and 795.46. In part F, we're looking at the difference between 1,500 and 795.46. What's going to happen is as our X star value moves away from this value, which was our mean, our X bar, our interval is going to get wider. So because 1,500 is farther away from the mean of the X's of 795.46, we get a wider interval than if we did 1,000. The narrowest possible interval we could get in this situation is if we predicted at the value of 795.46, because then that term would go to 0.